Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Gaming, and this is The Walking Dead Season 8 Sunday Spoilers Live Chat number 2. We're going to try to build on some of the discussion that we had last week. Pretty awesome spoiler pictures that are out there right now. Hopefully you guys had a chance to watch the video I posted about an hour ago, because we are going to talk about some of those spoilers. So you guys know the deal. If you don't like spoilers, you should not be here. Hopefully you guys do, and everybody is having a wonderful Mother's Day. Super special shout out once again to all the mothers that are here. So if you guys were at the Chill with Kills a little bit later on, we did some really cool dedications. Thank you guys for all of that, and looks like we're going to start filling up the house. I've seen some stuff on our 999 Army page already. I think it was Steph had the 999 Army in the sand enjoying her time on the beach. Hopefully she's watching. So I'm not going to do a whole lot of shout outs here. We'll say what's up just to a couple people, and we're not going to make the first 20 minutes about shout outs because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. They are filming, they are in full swing, and I'm feeling pretty good about our predictions. I know we're not going to hit all of them, exact, but I do think that we are well on our way to getting a couple of those things definitely on point. So Alexandria Bates, thanks for being here. Rebecca from Texas, Sharon Doble, Working Dead, Eric Calburn, my mods, of course, Jamie Jordan. What's up, Double J? Also to all my Patreon supporters, thank you guys. Got a couple new people that we added to that site as well too, so appreciate everything that you guys do. There is a Iron Man image floating around. Could be Killshot dressed as Iron Man. I will post it eventually on the Facebook page, so you guys will get to see it. But the people over on the Patreon site just get to see it a little bit earlier. So, hey, Ellie Valentine, thank you for being here. Mark Dawson. All right, so we got a few people here, but only half of the people in the room have slapped the like button. Where is Tommy McCandless? Tommy is like my, he's my enforcer to make sure that like button gets slapped. So, hey, Maddie Jordan, how are you doing? So, want to say what's up to her. All right. Lindsay Luke, thank you for being here. All right, we got most of the crowd here. A lot of good discussions. And a lot of moms, if you guys can see. Do want to send a special shout out to Christian Serratos, a brand new mother as well. That's why we have her up on the screen. We're going to talk about her a little bit. Not what she's going to do, but the fact that I don't think she'll be there for a little bit. So that's going to be one of the topics of conversation as well. All right. Here's the way this thing works. So I will read your comments. We'll talk about different things. If you guys do not want to be included in a video, do not type, because I am going to read your comments and I'm going to say your name. If for some reason somebody does hit the $ down below and makes a super chat donation, we will stop the chat. We will go to their thought, their whatever they want to post, and we will discuss that. So that is there for people that are interested in that as well. And let's get this thing rolling. So real quick, be honest. How many people did not? See, I'm changing the question up. How many people did not watch the video I posted about an hour ago? If you didn't watch it, just type a 999 because we're going to catch you up. It's a little easier to do that because I know most of you have already watched it. So just want to get a quick survey, and then we'll talk about that a little bit because that's going to be a lot of the spoiler chat. Hopefully I don't see a whole lot of 999s in there, because then you guys got to go back and watch the video. All right, we got a few. Me, I'll be honest. All right, so a few people didn't. Jasmine has not watched my video. Come on, Jazzy. Get over there and watch it. Jamie Jordan didn't watch it. You guys are disappointing me. Oh, boy. All right, then I got a lot to catch you up on because, those pictures, these pictures this week, I have several spoiling sites that are coming in, but the video discussed, had some pictures from Spoiling Dead's fan page, but I think it's going along with our theory. So here's the deal. First thing that we're going to talk about is there's a group of 4 people, and we talked about this. We talked about these little skirmishes, right? It looks to be like that's what they're going to do. So we had Rick, we had a few people jumping in a car, these armored vehicles. Now we've got Daryl, we've got Tara, we've got Morgan, we got Carol, evidently chasing some saviors. Then we got Ezekiel's group going in a different direction. So Rick's going one way, Daryl and crew's going another way, Ezekiel's going another way. We still haven't had a sighting of Maggie just yet. And we do know that this should go along with the storyline. They're not going to time warp too far. This is going to be pretty they're going to go right into it. They just finished that one little attack that Negan had, and now they're split up. Rosita and Michonne have not been spotted filming from what I've heard just yet, and I think they may be recovering for a week or two. That's just my feeling. Michonne was beat down pretty well. Rosita was shot. So we could probably give them a couple episodes to sort of heal up. So go ahead and all right, Jamie, you're okay. You can you're allowed to feed them and miss a video. No problem with that. Morgan is going to blow some stuff up. And I do think Morgan is going to die. I just don't think he's going to die in the first episode. Tobin. So we got some predictions with Tobin. So Lindsay says, just love that Carol and Daryl are filming together. Yes. So let me walk you through a little bit of what we think we know at this point. They're in hot pursuit. There's a few saviors on motorcycles. There's either a trap set or Morgan. I don't know if it's bombs, dynamite, if he's able to get a hold of a rocket launcher. I don't know what's going on. But there is an explosion, and we do have a picture posted on the video of Morgan walking up to the bike, and the saviors obviously wrecked on the bike. Now, apparently that explosion leads to a little bit of trouble for our group. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. It's fine. It's cool. I know you guys will get back and watch it, but what we're talking about will make a little bit more sense. We're hoping that Morgan, I think ultimately Morgan is not going to be able to control his rage, and that's what's going to end up being his demise. I just don't think it's going to happen in the first episode, which is episode number 100. But there is going to be some epic stuff. Oh boy. Tommy Sweet Ass McCandless is late. Tommy, that's why like half the people here have not Lucille the like button. I'm not going to pin that all on you, but you do have a certain responsibility. It will be an extended episode, so this is where I think everybody's going to kind of get their play. I do think there'll be some Negan filming, so we'll get to that. Also, we haven't really caught up with the Hilltop yet either. I would expect to have some Hilltop information probably midweek. There's going to be a little bit more filming, so hopefully I'll get some info up for you guys. What's up, Ha? Ha says, that's my biggest fan. I don't know, Ha. It might be a few hundred people that are willing to argue with you. You're going to have to give me some proof of what would make you the biggest fan. But thank you for being here. Just reading a few things here. I'm reading a few comments. I'm just sorting through, figuring out which ones are going to jump out that we're going to talk about. Because I have several topics, but I'm waiting on a few of you to throw your topics up there as well. If you guys are new to the chat, this is, it's like a podcast. I mean, we're going to talk your ideas. We're going to talk my ideas. And exactly, Kyle. Exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking. But we'll just sort through all of these things, and we'll come up with some pretty good theories. We went through, once again, if you're new, we've went through all 8 episodes over the last month. And I'm starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel. I think a lot of things we talked about are going to come true. So Wyatt wants to know, do I think someone from the team died during that explosion? No, I don't. I think all 4 are safe, but I do think it's going to set up some drama because there are a lot of walkers out there after that explosion. I think it's very possible that in episode number 2 now, Morgan might not make it. I could even see Morgan being surrounded by walkers and saving Carol, Daryl, and Tara. I mean, let's think about this for a second, and let me know what your thoughts are. So the 4 of them are out there. They're on the road. You know, they see these saviors. They cut them off. They blow it up. And this explosion, they don't know that all these walkers are in the city. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, and we've seen them. The pictures are out there. There's several hundred. So there's buildings around. maybe a place to climb away, but 4 of them completely surrounded. It would be epic for Morgan to jump in there and give his life. Bitten by a walker. I think you'll see a lot more walker deaths this season. Some incidentals. And if we do have a couple new people in here, I recognize most of the names, but if this is your first live stream, just toss a 999 up in chat. What's up, LA China? Good to see you again. Shay Girl, hello. Most of the crowd is starting to fill back in. I know it's Mother's Day, and some people are torn between spending time with mom or cooking with the family and doing things. So all of you guys that are here, I appreciate you being a part of this stream. Some people are making personal sacrifices to be here. Edna Tellis says, Killshot, you think Michonne will die this season? I personally don't. But I'm not going to rule out what could happen in the second half of the season. I think she's too much a part of the story, at least this season. Now, next season, there was that one little speech between Rick and Michonne in the van where they said, something happens to me, you go on, something happens, vice versa. Could have planted a seed that Michonne could be leaving at some point. I would be shocked by it. I don't feel it right now. But once we get through the first half of the season, who knows? Could be an epic plot shift. But great question. Kyle Kirk, will the Scavengers be finished at mid-season finale? I do think so. I think they will be, with the exception of a few of them. I think it's going to leave the door open for... I don't think the Scavengers become the Whisperers, but I think a couple of the people could join up with the Whisperers. I think the Whisperers are already out there. Just a feeling. Nothing confirmed with that. Kale, I think so. And at this point, I'm almost going to go out on a limb. I'm not going to guarantee it. But let me move on, because if you guys watched the video, then you'll know kind of what I talked about. If not, go back and watch it. It's really, the pictures are telling a lot. So, all right, so we know that the 4 of them go in one separate way. Now, we also know, just like we talked about, how many times have we said it? I've said it at least 10 times. Ezekiel's heading back. They're all going different directions. Ezekiel gets sidetracked. He's not getting back to the kingdom yet. So the pictures and the rumors that are out there at this point, Ezekiel, Daniel, Jerry, and Shiva run across an area. Could be a small outpost. They're calling it at this point a church. There's a little saint statue or an angel statue, something in the background. It's in the video. So the rumor is at this point that there's a throwdown between Ezekiel's group and the Saviors. And at the end of filming, this apparently happened, but we don't know if this is going to be the end of the episode or if this is going to be where they just ended up for the day. We'll find out a little bit more next week. Evidently, one of the Saviors threw a grenade into the group of Jerry, Ezekiel, Shiva, Daniel. Now, we can think about that a lot of different ways. I don't have confirmation yet if it kills anyone, if it's going to stun them. Maybe they're far away where it just, buzzes, blows up and not close enough to kill them, but, that buzzing sound, like this emergency broadcast system, that type of thing. And then, so either somebody's going to die, option A. They're going to be disoriented, option B, could still die. It's going to bring a whole lot of walkers to that area, which is option C. I think Shiva's done. Now, what if the grenade gets tossed in, Shiva jumps on top of the grenade? I mean, that would be pretty epic. Or Jerry jumps on top of the grenade. We have heard rumors of, we know in All Out War, Heath gets his leg blown off. What if Jerry dives on top of it, takes the leg getting blown off, and then dies. I don't think we're gonna get the CGI and the green screen that Jerry's gonna be hopping around with no leg. Maybe Jerry takes the grenade, but the sound still tracks walkers. Shiva, I think, is gone. I don't see a situation where Shiva lasts too long. Well, that's the thing, Matthew Todd. I don't know if that's how the episode ends just yet. I know it happens. Now, whether it happens and it's a cliffhanger from episode 100 to episode 101, we just know they stopped filming there, and it was a pretty big event. But I think it would be more likely that it starts to take that comic book arc. I predicted, since we started doing predictions, that Jerry and Shiva will die in the first episode. I'm not 100% confirmed on that, but when I see the pictures and I hear there's a grenade tossed, it ain't going to be Ezekiel. Ezekiel's not dying. Daniel could die. Daniel's a minor character. But to me, it's likely Shiva goes. They're setting it up just like the comic, so it would be hard for me to think that, Lindsay, to your point, if they've got it right there in front of us where they could give Shiva that comic book death, having Shiva last for another 2 months just to me doesn't seem likely. It just seems like right there they have all these walkers that are surrounding them. They've got the grenade, they got the noise, they got the confrontation with the saviors. Would make perfect sense just to do it right there. I mean, we can agree or disagree. It's not a question of, at this point, I think, with our heart, we may want Shiva to be there, but the writing's on the wall. I mean, this would be a perfect setup. And it would satisfy those comic fans as well. Pretty memorable, right? I mean, can we have an episode number 100 that is just blah, whatever, nothing happened? Moody Girl's going out on a limb and saying Negan is going to die by the end of the season. Not going to say that can't happen. I just think it's going to be hard to kill him. Keep that enemy that you're not sure if you trust them or you don't trust them. I do. So Braden wants to know, do we think Shiva will die like in the comics? I think it'll be similar, right? I mean, Shiva, they got surrounded. They went in to kill some saviors. They got surrounded by walkers. It was a little bit too much, and Shiva had to protect Ezekiel. So it has to be epic. It can't be just average. And wouldn't that be epic? I mean, we're watching as viewers. I know, and keep in mind, we're spoiling it. So if it happens, there's not going to be a whole lot of surprise. So they have this standoff. We, as viewers, think that Ezekiel, he's doing the right thing. He's making a little bit of headway. He's destroying some people. And then out of nowhere, bam, you're up against a grenade at this point. Surrounded by walkers. Nowhere to go. It looks hopeless. People say, and Shanny D just said that a little bit ago, I need to see more Shiva. Well, you would see a lot of Shiva. I mean, let's say they throw a grenade in there and they're surrounded by 50 walkers. Shiva mowing through 50 walkers to save Ezekiel, to me, bam, I'm done. That's my episode right there. That would be tremendous. As heart-wrenching and sad as you think it would be awesome to say, man, we saw Shiva, give her life for Ezekiel. That relationship, that partnership. I would love it. Sometimes we have to lose characters or lose, not just like write them off. Sometimes they got to go out with a bang. Anyway, my thought to that. And we've been predicting this for a couple months now. Maybe we get to episode number 2 and it didn't happen. if we're talking about this, that night, and it was like the season, the premiere, and we're going back at this and saying, okay, it was okay. Rick's group, they killed a lot of people. They killed a lot of walkers. We're in good shape. I don't think it can be like that. And I do think that, there's the prediction out there too. Will Negan be locked up by the mid-season finale? I think that's a little aggressive. Kale says, if Shiva dies, Daryl better find a puppy somewhere. Yeah, Aiden, I mean, that could be a cliffhanger for Shiva's death. No, I think it's just where they stopped filming. Do you think Shiva will kill another save? I could see that happening. So Lindsay wants to know, why would they show us a slow build to Daryl and Shiva becoming friends if they were going to kill Shiva off? It's a fair question. But I don't know they were showing us a build that Shiva and Daryl would be fighting side by side. To me, I think it was just showing that there was a trust there. I think that was more of an impact for Morgan. I don't know if it was an impact that they were just going to go into all-out war together. It is The Walking Dead. People have to die. You can't have a season premiere and just a bunch of special effects and a bunch of flashbacks. It just ain't going to fly. So they're going to have to finally phase some of these people out, and they're going to have to do it in a hurry. What's up? What's up, Emmy Bacon? Wyatt wants to know, do you think Morgan dies this season? I do think Morgan dies. I think Morgan is going to have a hard time controlling everything that he does. I think he's going to have times where he can control it. He goes out and he's an asset, but I think that aggressiveness is going to get him in trouble. It's going to get him surrounded. Oh, there are. Rebecca, there's a ton of walkers. And so far, from what I know, both of those scenes contain a lot of walkers. The scene where evidently Daryl, Morgan, Tara, and Carol get surrounded by walkers, and also the scene where they throw the grenade. Evidently, there's a lot of walkers filming there too. Starchild, let me answer that a couple ways. So Starchild says, are we using the comics as a guideline for spoilers? One, I'm going to go back and say, did you watch the video I did about an hour ago? Because we're actually using some of the pictures as a guideline for spoilers. That's first and foremost. Number two, we know what happens in the comic, and we know a lot of times they change it. However, a lot of times when it's a epic death or something they want to blow up, they take some form of it out of the comics. For example, Abraham's death, going to Denise, or Spencer's death, those types of things. So big events, a lot of times, I would classify Shiva's death as a fairly big event in the whole scheme of things. So does it mean that Shiva is going to be devoured by walkers? All right, let's reset this a little bit, because I think we're getting into the emotional aspect of Shiva. So I'm going to ask the group right now. Is Shiva going to die? Here we go. There's a simple question. Sometime this season, is Shiva going to die? Yes or no? And we'll see, we'll do like these pulse surveys just to find out what everybody's thought process is. And overwhelmingly, everybody here is going to say yes. They know Shiva's going to die at some point this season. Just waiting for a few responses here. Okay. All right, there we go. There's all the yeses. So everybody, almost everybody is in accord that Shiva is going to die. All right, so we're good. Yes, sadly, it's going to happen. Yes, of course. All right, I'm going to say 90% of the people here are saying Shiva's going to die. All right, follow-up question. How is Shiva going to die? Now, granted, all we have to go on at this point is the blueprint from the comics. But we definitely have a right to figure it out however we want to figure it out. So we have the comics to sort of go by, or we have speculation. One of two things. So I can definitely say, I don't think, or you're wrong. But if we're going to say that, then give me a follow-up solution. So how is Shiva going to die? Saving Ezekiel. Okay. That's from the comic, protecting Daryl. Okay, I'll give you that. Protecting Daryl. Could happen. Walkers. Trying to kill Negan. Protecting Ezekiel. Sacrifice. Sacrifice for Ezekiel. I'm reading your comments. Kel says, better not be by Lucille. AJ says, saving someone, either Ezekiel or Morgan. Protecting Ezekiel, that's IROC 6. Kyle says a herd of walkers. Jamie Jordan, saving Ezekiel. Okay, so you guys get the gist of it. So most of the people here, Rebecca from Texas, protecting Ezekiel, maybe a walker. All right, hopefully you guys see where I'm going with this. So if they get the opportunity, which it looks like they are, in episode number 1, there are pictures out there of them filming. People have been spotted seeing the Saviors throw a grenade toward this group of people where Shiva and Ezekiel are. Episode number 1. So if you already have this set up in episode number 1, let me ask this question to everybody again, at what point do you think Shiva will die? And I'll read some of your comments. So you can come back and tell me episode 2, episode 16, episode 12. But if you got it set up, if it's on the plate and it's ready to eat, no, it's a bad example, not bad analogy. If now I can't go back from that one because it just creates some wrong. If everything is in perfect alignment for this to happen, give me a reason why it would not be in episode number 1. Tell me which episode it's going to happen then. Because all this is going down in episode number 1. Mid-season, episode number 6. So what you're telling me is that it's very possible that they could have the perfect setup for Shiva to die exactly the way you told me it was going to happen, but for some reason it's not going to happen until 5 episodes later or 10 episodes later. I'm having a hard time grasping that one. Walking Dead Girl says episode 10. So I don't think it's going to be episode number 10. There's no way. There's no way it's going to be 10 or 14. It's going to have to be early on. I got people, there's some people saying episode number 8, and they're also saying that Negan's going to be imprisoned by like episode number 6 or 7. So after Negan's in prison, what, Shiva going to stub her toe and die of an infection after the war's over? Not going to happen. Come on, guys. Use a little bit of, help me out with this one. I'm struggling. Now, Jamie, it could happen after All Out War, but that's not the way it happens. So they would totally have to go away from the comic now. Okay? Let's add another layer to this. let's say I'm wrong and a lot of other people who say it's going to be 8, 9, or 10, that's when it happens. Give me something epic that is going to happen in episode number 1. Because if I'm watching episode number 100 and it's a premiere to a show to make me want to come back and watch it, and you're not going to kill off this great tiger that is a big part of the show, tell me what you're going to do to blow me away. This is where I need the follow-up. We're going to think through this. I need your predictions on episode number 1. Rick and Carl walking around with a gas can, is that going to keep me interested for an hour and a half? Lindsay, I'm going to ask you a follow-up with that because you're the big proponent that's going to happen mid-season finale. So give me an alternate solution of something that I'm going to watch that's going to blow me away in episode number 1. Because what I'm seeing from filming, it ain't going to happen so far. I've seen some armored cars. I've seen Morgan. I mean, if Morgan dies, are you going to kill Morgan instead of Shiva in episode number 1? Okay, I'll go down that road. Eric does not get Lucille in episode number 1. Not going to happen, Dark Angel. So I need an alternate. Give me an alternate solution. Now, if you're going to stand by and say, all right, well, Morgan gets surrounded by walkers and he gets bit, there you go. I'll give you that. That would be epic for me. But other than Morgan, okay, then I'll give you some props on that. Then I won't totally rule out that Shiva could live. But you're going to have to kill Morgan or you're going to have to kill Shiva. And possibly Jerry. Carol ain't dying. That ain't going to happen. No way, hybrid. All right, reading through a few. I do agree, Fred. I think Shiva has to die saving Ezekiel. Harley says, it's adorable, everyone loves a tiger, but Shiva being the death in mid-season finale, I don't think they're going to split it up so much. I think that you're going to get to see a little bit of everybody, like every episode this year. I don't think it's going to be, we go to Kingdom for an episode and we go to Oceanside. I think there's going to be a lot more of the group filming together. And that's why I think it's going to be hard to keep Shiva around for a long period of time. I don't see them filming with her for 8 episodes. Or filming an episode and then forgetting about her for 4 episodes and then popping back in. Titanfall says, Shiva can't die. She's a freaking tiger. It'd be sad. She's going to die at some point. I love it. See, this is the passion. This is what the Army's all about. But I will tell you, based on, I'm not just looking for pictures. Well, okay, maybe I'm a little bit. The pictures are starting to justify some of what we think. But I will tell you that within a week or two, we're going to know a lot more. And when I heard about the grenade, it just really made me think that we might be onto something here. Yeah, but Lindsay, I could care less if Daniel dies. I'm not going to wake up on Monday morning and do a live stream and say, wow, everybody, whew, I was blown away. Did you see Daniel die by that grenade? Zero. Zero interest factor. If Morgan dies, yeah, that will be enough for me to be like, wow, man, I'm really going to miss Morgan. Morgan gave his life. So I'll give you Morgan, but the Daniel thing, blah, could care less. Who's Daniel? He ain't doing nothing for me. So Joshua says episode 100 would be a little bit of everything. Now, we could kill off Gregory. The thing is, we still don't know. We've been on the Shiva topic for a long time because I think it's worth talking about, and you can see just by this stream. See, let me go back. Based on this stream, who would you miss more, Shiva or Morgan? There you go. I'll give you two options. Shiva or Morgan, who would you miss more at this point? Sharon already says, I don't care if Morgan dies. But Shiva you care about, right? Let's see if that's the trend. Shiva. Oh man, a lot of people miss Shiva, right? Oh, come on. Don't even try to trick us. You closet Morgan fans. A few people, you guys don't care about Morgan. That's the reality. Really, who here loves Morgan at this point? You guys were so pissed off at Morgan last week. It's Shiva. Because you already know where I'm going with this. Even still, with a couple people that I'm not totally trusting what you just said there, 80% of you just said you would miss Shiva more. That's exactly why Shiva is going to die. Because it creates controversy, it creates chaos, it gives you something to talk about. There you go. We should have learned our lesson at this point that the people at Walking Dead, they're going to go after your heart. They can't kill Daryl. They're not going to kill Daryl for you. They can't kill Carol just yet. Bye, Shiva. Mercy, Santiago. I'm glad you're new to the stream. We are in a heated discussion right now about whether or not Shiva is going to die. Josh was like, take them both. Now, Josh, if that happens, that to me would be an epic episode number 100. We got Morgan fans out there, and they both play out the same way. Both of them give their life protecting people. Morgan dies protecting Carol. Shiva dies protecting Ezekiel. Whew, that might go down as one of the best episodes ever. That would make me, it would hurt. It would hurt a little bit. Anyway, all right, moving on away from the Shiva death topic. We will see. We will get more information over the next week or so. As we get more, if we get images, do not say it ain't going to happen, because our goal is to prove it. There's still a lot of speculation. 90% of what we're saying right now is still speculation. The only thing that we have that is confirmed is that Ezekiel is in a group away from everybody else, and they are going to be confronted by saviors, which is the same setup as in the comic book. Maybe they survive it. Maybe the grenade doesn't kill anybody. Maybe it kills Daniel, and Shiva lives to fight another day, and mid-season finale she dies. But somebody else is going to have to go, and somebody epic is going to have to go, or it just ain't going to be dramatic, because what I've seen so far is not going to be dramatic unless they have some deaths that go along with it. But we're kind of split on Morgan, but no, we're not split on Shiva. People pretty much love Shiva. It's like, man. And, we're all over the place as far as when we think Shiva's going to die. All right. We will talk a little bit about, as you guys know, Rosita's got some real life things going on right now with her newborn. But I think the fact that they shot her gives them a little bit of leeway. Michonne's got a little bit of time as well. Here's another rumor. You guys have got to be ready for this. So let me try to add something else that may blow you away. Now, we did predict maybe a month ago, might have been our third or fourth stream, we predicted that Judith would be kidnapped. I'm hearing reports. Something, in quotes, is happening with Judith. The group is spread out. Something happens with the house where Judith is left unwatched. We predicted a lot of different things. That could be Negan sent someone kidnapped Judith, someone from the inside. So have not got the confirmation on that just yet, but we have heard rumors. Something's going on with Judith. So let's go back. I'm trying to what I'm trying to do is not just justify my argument, but look at several different pieces of it. Because Lindsay's very outspoken right now that Shiva's not going to die. We don't have proof, although I'm leaning more toward it. Now, Lindsay, the only thing I would give to that is Morgan has to die and Judith has to be kidnapped. You're going to have to give me something other than Morgan to make it epic. So, if Judith gets kidnapped, Morgan dies, and maybe Gregory dies, then okay. Now, I'll concede Shiva could live a little bit longer. I don't think so, though. I don't think they're... It's just one of those things I think they have to keep it very similar to the way the comic book was for some reason. I don't know. I just have a feeling. Eric, Judith is not going to die like in the comics unless Lori comes back to life and is running across the prison with the governor shooting her in the back. Tyler, if this is all Rick's stream, we've been wasting a lot of our time talking about spoilers. Grimes Girl says, if she gets kidnapped, can we do a Walking Dead trivia quiz and then brag that we were the first people to set it? Well, first of all, if Shiva and Jerry die, we were the first people that said it. If Judith gets kidnapped, we were the first people that said it. I mean, our spoilers were completely raw. Well, they weren't spoilers. They were predictions. And now we're starting to get some of the spoilers that come in, and they're either going to validate what we said or they're going to be way, way off. And I'm feeling pretty good about it based on what I've seen. But I may see some images that come out later on this week, and I may say, no, there's no way. Because not this week, but next week, I'll know if Ezekiel's been spotted with Shiva. That's the thing, is we don't have to wait a whole lot of time in order to find out. Whoever that Julian kid is, can we show him the exit, please? I just don't know if that's even an intelligent comment to come into a chat and say. Or like time him out and just make sure he wasn't talking to his brother or something. That would be epic. Kyle says, if Clementine shows up, that would be epic. Yeah, there you go. You know what? Clementine shows up, you can keep all of them alive. Okay, all right. See, now you're getting my interest a little bit, Lindsay. Judith gets kidnapped at the end of the premiere. Rick was out doing some stuff. Eugene kidnaps Judith. There you go. That would be epic. Sharon's like, who is Clem? Clementine. We'll have to catch you up later. Clementine was awesome. Sharon, I'll send you something on Kick and explain to you who Clementine is. So Kelly G says, do you think if Judith gets kidnapped, that'll motivate Rick or weaken him to Negan? I think it's going to motivate him. He was sitting right beside Carl when he was just about to be decapitated, and he was very motivated. So at this point, I don't think we're ever going to see sad face Rick again. If it's Michonne, I think it's going to motivate him. If it's Judith, it's going to motivate him. Whoever Negan goes after, Rick feels at this point he's going to win. Hope the Whisperers take Judith and they blame Negan. Maybe the Scavengers. They take. They don't bother. They're going to take Judith. That would be my prediction. One of the Scavengers sneaks in and takes Judith and delivers Judith to Negan. Boom. There we go. If so, we might be able to keep Shiva alive a little bit longer. I'm not going to let it go. Kills, do you have hair like Tobin? No, I have hair like Norman Reedus. Yep. Joshua, you hit on the head there. The weakened Rick is long gone. You could see. I mean, I'm going to kill you. Not today, not tomorrow. You're already dead. I would like to see that. I would love to see a Kenny and a Clementine make a debut. Whew, that would be awesome. His name's Ken Jr., but we call him Duck. Nothing phases that kid like water running off a duck's back. Love me some Kenny. Starchild, I don't think it's too early for the Whisperers to be lurking. I think it's too early for them to be introduced. There's going to be hidden clues, though. So real quick, a few people have logged in. We're up to about 100 people. If you guys that are new could just slap the like button. A couple ground rules here. The video go live. Wow, we've 45 minutes. Are you kidding? We've been talking about a freaking tiger for 45 minutes. Once a video goes live, if you guys could get over there, I won't be able to read all the comments, but leave your comments because a lot of people watch the playback of this video, 3, 4, 5,000 people. And this is why I say at the beginning of each video, if you don't want to be included, your chat makes this video all come together because it is like a podcast. It is talk radio. Your comments really help promote that video and people kind of understand what we talk about. And when they watch it, they know it's not all my thoughts, although a lot of it is. I do direct the chat to a certain degree. But you guys are pretty influential. You guys do pull me right back in when I get a little crazy. But we're going to have a lot of fun talking about this. Beware. I'm going to tell you guys, over the next couple weeks, it's very likely that we have exact spoilers. Right now, last week they were predictions. Now they're becoming predictions with some proof in there. Over the next couple weeks, you may know exactly what happens 3 or 4 months before anybody else knows. I mean, that's kind of the way these things work. So just be careful. I'm not telling you not to watch, but I'm just saying that it will become more and more likely that we know what's going to go on. Okay. As long as we're square on that, everybody knows what's happening, it's all good. So that tiger, it's an awesome tiger. It's a tiger that we've been talking about for 45 minutes. All right, I'm going to recap really quickly, answer a couple more. We like to keep these spoiler streams at about 45 minutes, and we're rolling up on an hour really quickly. So here is what we know at this point. Watch the video I posted an hour ago if you guys haven't, and then you'll be able to formulate a few more thoughts. So we know that Rick's group has some armored cars, and they're rolling out. They're looking for blood. We also know that there's a group comprised of Daryl, Tara, Carol, and Morgan. They are chasing down some saviors on motorcycles. We know there's an explosion. We see Morgan walking up to where the bike kind of wiped out. So we assume these saviors are dead. We also know there's about 200 walkers surrounding that area. That's all we know at this point with that group. We also know there is a second group. That group is comprised of Ezekiel, Shiva, Daniel, and oh shoot, I lost my train of thought there. I'm way too ahead of my spoilers. And Jerry, sorry. How can I forget Jerry? They have a standoff. We know it's filmed in an area that there's like does look a little like a town, but could be a church. There could be some bars on the windows. There's a statue. It's like a saint statue. And evidently they're having a standoff. The saviors get desperate. They throw a grenade into the group. And that's where they stopped filming. That's what we know at this point. We don't know if one of them died. We don't know if they were caught off guard by it. We don't know if someone jumped on top and just, took the brunt of the grenade. So that's all this factual. We think that the noise is going to draw in more walkers because there's a lot of pictures of different walkers spread throughout this episode. So some could be flashbacks. They could be split. So from what I've heard, there's going to be a lot of extras and a lot of things that happen. That's all that's confirmed at this point. So everything else is a little bit of speculation. We will build on it a little bit more. We will talk about it a little bit more by Wednesday. We're going to have a little bit more data. There'll be a few more videos. So I'm going to answer one or two more questions, and I'm going to do a whole lot of shout-outs. And let me just say right now, I appreciate everybody being here, your thoughts, your comments. Sometimes it's never bad. Sometimes it's back and forth, but that's what debates are. That's what we do. It's a spoiler channel. We will get combative back and forth as well, too. That's the fun of it. So until we get it right, that's the whole purpose of it. Appreciate everything that you guys do. And A. Ray says, Kills, how would you die if you were in The Walking Dead? That's a good question. I wouldn't die. That would be my answer. I would survive. I'd find a way to, I'd live. I'd go to a cold area in the mountains. Not freezing, but cold enough to keep the walkers away. Ellie Valentine says, Kills, if your child was taken by Negan, what would your first plan of action be to get them back? I don't have a child, but if my kitten was taken by Negan, oh man, it'd be on. I would, wow, these are tough questions. You guys are blowing my mind right now. I'd probably have to negotiate if I was outnumbered. I'd give him something. I would give him Daryl. I'd say, hey, Negan, here, you want your Daryl back? Give me my cat, and you can have Daryl back. I'd negotiate with him. Let's see. What's the next question? What savior do you think is most likely to die? Arat. I would like to see Ezekiel's group have a standoff with Arat and a few of the saviors. She would be leading a group. And I just think the cat should eat a rat. That would be kind of a nice play on words. If a rat is eaten by Shiva before they throw the grenade and before Shiva dies. And let's see. Could the dinner scene from last year's premiere episode be an indication of who dies next? It could, but Shiva was not at that dinner table. So it could definitely be Morgan. That's what we think. All right, we are 55 minutes, and hey, we're super charged up. So thanks, everyone, for being here. You guys are amazing. Appreciate everything that you guys do. If you guys get a chance and you want some really, really random chat, we will be doing random things tomorrow night. If you have a random things idea, send it to me at K-I-L-Z-H-O-T. There's no S in there, K-I-L-Z-H-O-T. Give me your ideas. We will talk about a whole bunch of random topics. Once again, hope you guys have a wonderful Mother's Day. The stream went by way, way fast. This is one of the fastest going streams that I think we've ever had. Thank you, and it is shout-out time. So I want to say what's up to Rebecca from Texas. Kel says, smile. You got to give me a song suggestion, Kel. I just can't randomly think of something unless you give me a quick topic. So if there's a good song idea, leave it, and I'll hit a couple notes from it. Eric Calvin, thank you for being here. Moody Girl, Brene, appreciate you being here. I Rock 6, Grimes Girl, Walking Dead Girl, Lindsay Luke, Shani D, a.k.a. Little Michonne, Arkham Knight, Kyle Crook, who could be cast as Clem, and Kenny. That's a great question. I want to say what's up to Maddie. What's up, Carl Jordan? Mercy Santiago, this is your first stream, so appreciate you being here. Carl Turtle 11, A. Ray, Ellie Valentine, thank you so much. Emmy Desiree Bacon, appreciate you being here. Now the shout-outs are really going crazy. Tyler Johnson's like a popsicle on a hot day. Azeal, thank you for being here, Azeal. I'm going to miss so many people tonight. Don't be mad. Gecko Skates, thank you for being here. Sin Miller, you have a great night as well. Trevor Grimm, Michelle M. Who else is here? The screen. You guys see the screen, what's going on right now? Kentucky Pricer, appreciate you being here. Jamie Jordan wants Ice Ice Baby. I like stop, collaborate, and listen. Ice is back, my brand new invention, something. Grabs a hold of me tightly, flowing like a heartbeat daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Turn out the lights and I'll glow. To an extreme, I rock the mic like a vandal. Light up stage and wax a chunk like a candle. Done. There you go. That's the best I can do on short notice. Israel Marion, what is up? Nikki Sticks, Lindsay Luke, 999 Family, Grimes Girl, Kathy Joe, thank you for being here. Fred Bear, Braden Hensley, thank you for being here. Tobin McLeod, pleasure as always. Who else? I think I got most of you guys. I didn't see, who did I see tonight? I didn't see Lisa G. She must be off doing some Mother's Day stuff. Oil P. What's up, Oil? If you're from the South, you don't say oil. You say oil. I don't know why. It's a Southern thing, oil. Got to get my oil changed. And Carmen Trance. There you go. Thank you for being here. Star Child. Appreciate you being here. Tommy, sweet-ass McCandless with a special shout-out. The ETZ Mom, thank you for being here. Sub-Zero Gaming, appreciate you being here. Fawai, who else we got? I think I've hit almost everybody. Hopefully, I think I got my mods. Dark Angel, Moody Girl, if I didn't, there you go. You get a double shout-out. Harley Quinn, thank you. Harley Quinn, thank you. Just the awesome suggestions for random things. Hopefully, you guys will be there tomorrow. We got some really good ideas to talk about. Peace Dove, thank you for being here. You have a great night. Kelly G, thank you as well. And I think we are good to go. Joshua Fett, I almost missed my boy. Almost miss you, Josh. You're coming in right at the very end. So thank you for being here. Walking Dead Girl is like a popsicle on a hot summer day, too. You guys get the popsicle shout-outs. Ann Hodge, thank you. Rial. Kills, did you call your... you know what? Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Anybody that's a mom, happy Mother's Day. George Morris. Happy Mother's Day to you too, George. I'm sorry. I'm just going to give everybody a Mother's Day shout out. George is going to be really mad at me now. Steph Richardson. Thank you for that 999 Army drawing in the sand. You made me jealous of being on the beach, by the way. I'll give George a real shout out. I was just messing with him. Thank you, George. Appreciate you being here. Mr. Jagger Diner. Thank you for being here as well. All right, if you have not requested Stacks, the Beatbox Box Breaker. So if you've not requested a shout out at this point, I can't do anything. I mean, I've been doing shout outs for 5 minutes, so that means you're extremely late, like Great Dane right at the very end. All right, thanks everybody once again. You guys have a wonderful night. You will not see me again until tomorrow night during Random Things. Talk to you guys all soon. Peace.